Okay, so we're gonna work on our white pan bread. This is a sponge method. There are recipes that you won't use the sponge method. There's an advantage to the sponge method, and that allows you to have less fermentation time the next day. So this is also called a Pan Loaf. We're gonna go ahead and scrape our sponge into the bowl, and we're using the straight dough method for this. So this fermented overnight. And now we're going to just do the straight dough method, adding our remainder of bread flour, water, salt, non-fat milk solids, sugar, and shortening. Make sure you get all that salt out of there. Okay, so we're gonna use the dough hook and we're gonna mix this up. So you can see how it's pulling away from the sides now, and it's really coming together. All we're doing now is we're developing that gluten, so we're mixing it for a couple minutes to start that development. Pan loaves are good for sandwiches. It's like a loaf of a white bread. You can also do a wheat variation as well. Okay, so we have our Pan loaf here, and what we are going to do is we're going to do a makeup on this loaf. So we're going to do a pre-shape, and we're going to let rest until we do our final shape. So when you have a scale, it's great for bread making because you can weigh out your loaves to be what you would like. So I want it to be 1 pound, 12 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and scale this out. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick fold here because we are gonna let this rest before doing our final shape. So this is gonna rest on the bench for 15 to 20 minutes, and then we will do our final shaping. Cover it with saran wrap, and you're good to go. So today we're doing a Pan loaf. I don't have a Pan loaf pan that fits in my standard oven, so I'm just going to use a 1/3 hotel pan. So I have my Pan loaf that's been resting here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the final shape up of it. So really with the Pan loaf, you're looking for length of your pan about, and then we are going to tuck in the ends and roll the bread over and then just pinch it in. And this is going to sit and proof in our hotel pan. So we'll let that proof rise and then we will get it in the oven. The other Pullman loaf that I have here is just a really small roll that's left. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna make a pizza roll. So I am just going to go ahead using my hand so I don't deflate it. I'm going to spread it out. And I'm going to put some fillings in here, roll it over, and we will proof it and get it ready. Just some pizza sauce. This is just going to be like a giant pizza roll that I'm going to eat. So I'm just going to start off by rolling it. I'm rolling mine. You could leave it full. You could just roll it in half. You definitely want to make sure you pinch the bottoms. And I have my sheet tray here that I'm going to lay this on. Letting this proof as well, and then we will cook it off. I have my white Pullman loaf here that is going to double in size, and once that happens, it's proofed, it's ready to go in the oven. And the next thing I have is I have my little pizza roll that I made, so I allowed that to proof as well. I cut slits into it so it could breathe, and the cheese and stuff won't come out of the bottom, and it'll have room for that steam to escape. And I'm going to place these in the oven. When I place the Pullman loaf in the oven, I'm going to put a sheet tray on top because I don't have a lid for this Pullman loaf pan. I don't have a Pullman loaf pan at home. So I'm just going to use a sheet tray to cover it up to hold in that steam to create that crust and help it rise. And then you can see in this next picture the Pullman loaf when it comes out and how it looks. Mine deflated a little bit because I pulled my lid off too early, but you want to make sure you leave that lid on for a good 20 minutes and then pull it off to let the crust continue to brown.